Watercooler.
Ba 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 down.
Watercooler.
Do 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 do.
Watercooler.
Ba 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 down. Hey, welcome to Watercooler. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh yeah, you know how the show goes. I, Chris Loxamana, kick it with my Corolla Digital Bud and Matt and Gary. With me today, all the way in NoHoCA, it's that Corolla Digital Bud. It's Mike Dawson.
Hi, Chris Loxamana. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you,
Ready
Mike?
to hang around the water cooler and regale everyone with some tales of glory?
Isn't that what everyone does at the water cooler?
That is what happens.
At all water coolers nationwide?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah. And then all the way in Austin, TX, it's Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Matt. And Matt does have a shade today, so we're looking forward to that. Right? You do, right? I'm assuming.
I know. I noticed that before the show started. You're like, Matt's got a shade, and I was like, got it, done.
For days, done. Yeah.
Shades for days, baby.
And then all the way in OC, California. Oh yeah, you thought this was just gonna be a regular old show. I mean, look, everybody loves the three wise men, but sometimes you got to add that fourth horseman, and that is Mr. Gary Smith. Welcome, Gary.
Hola, Papa.
Hi. Oh yeah. So, dude, Gary invited me to his kid's birthday, and I am bummed I can't make it.
Mine's in the mail, I'm assuming, the invite.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, along with all the other invites, Matt.
Thank you for not inviting me.
You're
I would
welcome.
hate to have to tell you no.
Well,
Dawson,
you
you're
might-
learn more about it, and you might change your mind, but we'll see.
Your tune's
right.
gonna change. I didn't think this was a thing that kids were into still.
Is it laser tag?
Better.
Better.
And it might even involve some laser tag. At least the show did. This is let's have Matt guess. Matt, what kind of party would I
What's
just be
better than
so
laser tag?
bummed to miss?
Chris would be super
And I'm surprised
bummed.
that kids are into this.
Well, what's the kid? Like 3? So he's not doing laser tag, right? How old is he, Gary?
He turns 4 this time.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're right. He is 3 currently, but by the
Okay.
time the party comes
All
around,
right.
celebrate.
Here's what I think is going to happen. Life-size dinosaur puppets. Like you go to the museums and the kids can interact with like the T-Rex and the Raptor. I feel like Gary hired animal
Matt-
actor dinosaur crew.
Matt, this is why you weren't invited because
Chuck E.
this was what they did last year. So maybe you looked at last year's invitation.
Oh,
Dude.
I'm a year behind.
You're so
last
lame,
year.
man. That's such a 3-year-old's party. This is for a 4-year-old. I'm embarrassed. I'll give you. I have 3 one-word clues.
All right, before you get there, Matt, I will tell
Okay.
you that instead of hiring people to do the dinosaurs last year, my insane sisters just bought the suits. So now they have them at all times and can just show up as dinosaurs on any given moment.
But
Yeah,
it's not-
any
certainly
holiday.
not this
That's-
next birthday.
I think that's an
Oh.
investment. That's a pretty good investment because the kids
Good
are going to
Halloween
get some
costume.
joy out of that for a while.
Yeah, it's a Halloween
the kids
costume.
And they're the kind of people that'll just show up to a cocktail hour like that, you know.
Beautiful. So yeah, we're talking money's worth, man. That's a
Yeah.
that's a
Having
good
problems
investment.
in your relationship.
I think
you
I'm
need a
going to
little
buy.
role
I think
play.
I'm going to buy one now.
Yeah.
Here's your first word clue, Matt.
Okay.
Amy. Second clue, Joe. Third clue, Johnson.
I wouldn't even get this, Chris.
Oh, how would you not get this?
Power
Come
Ranger party?
on!
Come
Yeah!
on.
Woo! Freaking Power Ranger party. The mighty
Damn.
Morphin freaking Power Rangers. It's part of
Well,
my
Chris,
French.
I'm sure that you will see a lot about it on Instagram because the stuff that the themed accoutrement have started arriving, and we were opening it today, and it is going to be sick.
Why
Good.
did you not begin this podcast wearing the Green Ranger mask on your face?
You know, I didn't know that we were going to talk about this party. So
That's irrelevant, Gary. If you have one in your
Gary.
house, it should be on your face.
Matt,
Gary
we
said-
go from here till the end of the year, and I could be wearing a different costume every show that we do, including Patreon.
Does that sound like a new tier or what?
Wait, is he into Power Rangers or is this just like a
Oh,
thing
we just
kids love?
decided to
Hates
force
them.
we
Gary's
just
obsessed.
decided to force the party on him. Yes,
Oh.
Power Rangers.
How is he into Power? How is he finding out about Power Rangers? Does he watch the show, the movie, the
He's-
second movie, the
he's seen
third
it all.
movie?
He's seen
He's
it all.
seen them all.
And Chris, you didn't look at the invitation that carefully because it is specifically the Dino, what's it called? Dino Fury Power Ranger.
Ah,
that he
Damn.
I
into,
didn't.
which-
I must not have looked at it carefully.
So
okay.
wait a minute. There might be some dinosaur related theme to this as well. I was not that far off.
Yeah, just we don't like you being right. All right, so this Power Ranger party. First off, Dawson, you may have missed
Yeah.
the Power Rangers boat in the crate.
Yeah,
Really more of
no.
an airship.
It really was aircraft carrier. So the Power Rangers cultural
He's going off
phenomenon.
frame. I hope he's getting the mask right now.
Cultural
Now,
phenomenon.
if it was a Walker Texas Ranger party,
now that sounds fun.
Yeah. Did you guys watch the American Gladiators doc on Netflix, the docuseries?
Not yet. I feel like
I heard you talk about it.
I watched that show as a kid so much that I don't know if I want the backstory to ruin it for me.
I did watch it as a kid so much. The backstory was nice. What I love about this documentary is it wasn't just all drama. It was really positive, and like all the gladiators still keep in touch. It's like, oh, and everyone's like weirdly cool.
See,
Like
now
they didn't turn into weirdos.
Okay, I'm definitely watching this now because I sort of figured this was going to be a story about how like the people who owned it kind of screwed over all the performers and stuff.
Well, I mean, there is going to be a little bit of that, but at the same time, though, it's just you're hearing from the gladiators' point of view, and the whole time I'm watching, I'm thinking, oh, these guys are pretty cool. Like they're actually nice to each other, and they kind of have their head straight, and they've sought therapy, and like they're really cool. I actually like them. So, but I thought to myself, this show's coming back. Like this docuseries might get big enough to where they actually bring the show back. Because I mean, why wouldn't they? Wipeout's huge. All those shows, everyone loves watching people get hurt these days on inflatable things. So yeah, might as well bring back American Gladiators, a show that started
Global gladiators, though, because now they got to appeal to the world.
they won't do that. They will never do. Yeah, they will never do American Gladiators.
Oh no, they're not. They're
global
doing
gladiators.
Too pro America.
Actually, Dawson, they're going the other way. They're doing.
Worldwide
They're
They're
not
doing
in that business anymore.
They're doing the other way. They're actually doing whites only gladiators.
French Gladiator.
It's crazy. No, it's
called whites
it's
only
it's whites only gladiators. It takes place in like some place in the rural South.
That's pretty hardcore, dude.
Yeah.
Where there's more black people than white people.
That's why it's crazy. That's why it's crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
that's where they decided to do it. You know, because I think they get a tax break for shooting there because they can't shoot in LA anymore. It costs too much. So yeah, they have to shoot out there. It's not really up to them. It's a money issue.
I don't think it's
anything.
I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah,
no.
I don't think it's gonna work either. Yeah, it's definitely a risk. I'm surprised that Netflix.
I guess you got to take risks.
You got to be different. You got to be a little different.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how it works. Some of the games I won't even get into them because if I even try to say any of the jokes in my head right now, it could come out wrong. But they're terrible.
We've already gone way too far down this road.
Yeah.
I've been looking for Burks for a hot
Quite-
second. By all
quite
means, let's not start trying
Awful.
to do things.
They're really bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, so I was thinking about Power Rangers. Power Rangers has a dude. A firework just went off. Lay off the fireworks, bro. It's July 10th. My God. Okay.
And it's daytime.
Save it to
Daytime.
next year. Save it for next year. Okay. It is daytime too. So I would watch a docuseries on the Power Rangers because there's some crazy shit about the Power Rangers. First off, it started off as 5 teenagers who were able to morph into superheroes. And they would wear the colors, even preemptively, before they were picked as Rangers, of the color Ranger they had. It's like Jason, the Red Ranger, would always dress in red. Zach was a Black Ranger, always dressed in black.
Okay.
And
Was
He
he actually
was-
black?
yes, he was the black guy. Trinity,
Okay.
the Yellow Ranger, always dressed in yellow.
They didn't want to confuse anybody.
Trinity,
They didn't want to confuse anybody. They want to make the names real simple. There's the Black Ranger.
Trinity Doss, freaking Asian.
Uh-huh.
Yellow Ranger.
Okay.
Okay, so they're not just
Are
taking.
you
A little
fucking
too on the
kidding me?
nose.
Yeah.
Are
This
you
is-
serious?
I'm totally serious. And like she got into
You're right, dude. This would make a great documentary.
there's a
Keep going.
crazy story of like her dying. Like she's dead. She died in some car accident or something. There's all this drama. It goes
Blue
back.
Ranger died too. He killed himself or something.
Because he was gay. Wait, that could be urban legend. Don't take my word on it, but I'm pretty sure I heard he was
Chris,
gay.
are you trying to get us all canceled?
No, I'm not.
Dude.
Billy the Blue Ranger, I'm pretty sure was gay. If not, that's urban legend. But anyway, so yeah, that I would totally watch a Power Rangers docuseries, and I think they should do it because I think there's a lot of story about it. And obviously it goes on over the years. They eventually added the Green Ranger. He became the White Ranger. I've seen the show once or twice. No, I literally
Guess
grew
what
up.
nationality the White Ranger was, Dawson?
All right, just before we go too much
Did
further,
they actually have a White Ranger though? They didn't have a White
They
Ranger.
absolutely had a
Yes,
White
they did.
Ranger.
They
The
did?
Blue-
And he was
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
He was green and he got upgraded to white. Let's be clear.
Like Gandalf.
Oh no.
Go ahead, Gary.
The Blue Ranger is very much still alive.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
And
And then one of the other Red Rangers, not the one from the original series, but a later Red Ranger, he attacked somebody with a sword,
yeah,
which
that-
was the weapon of choice of the Red Ranger.
yeah. Is the Blue Ranger gay, Gary? Or was he
Doesn't-
gay?
It does not say here.
Oh, man.
Hmm.
Urban
You can
legend.
go
Well,
to
anyway.
gay Power
Dude,
Rangers.com.
those action figures were the hottest commodity when they came out. Everybody wanted them. Yeah, it was. I remember, like, my mom took me to a Target and we waited in line outside before it opened to get one. And spoiler alert, it was just an action figure. Didn't really have much to it, but they were just.
I've
like-
seen Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, it was very
I
Jingle
know how
All the
this
Way.
ends. Yeah.
But anyway, it was.
So how many things can we talk about that I have no clue about? I've
Oh,
never
buckle
seen
in.
Jingle All the Way ever. Let's keep going because you guys are on a roll of shit that I know nothing about, and coincidentally,
Could
stuff
care
I don't
less
fucking
about?
care about.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we haven't even started with them when,
I
and
do
then they
care
made a
about
movie.
Gary's son's birthday, for the record. So you led off with something cool, but then we go Power Rangers, and now into that other fucking thing, Jingle All the Way. I don't know what to say.
What was the thing when you were a kid that was just the biggest freaking thing that everybody was talking about? It was just like you couldn't
ready?
get away
You
from
ready?
it.
It was called Outside.
Oh my God. You are the oldest man on earth. Of course you would freaking say that. How dare you? I knew you were going to say something snarky like that too. I was like, here we go. Here we go. It was called reading. Like, get out. It was called going outside and being social. Get the F out of here.
No,
Doc,
seriously, our parents told us go outside, get the hell out of the house during the summer.
dude, that's not a thing anymore. I was thinking about it.
Leave.
Like, I don't see little kids just going outside anymore.
Well, yeah, Matt needed a job, so people started torture porn on the internet, and now every parent's scared as shit.
I'm serious. I believe you, actually. I think it's all that. Like, all these parents are just too scared. Like, when I was a kid, I was able to go outside, walk to my friend's house, do all this stuff. I don't see little kids around anywhere. Not that I'm looking for them, but I just noticed they're not there. And I'm thinking,
well, here's
now,
the after effect.
and now as a father, which I like starting every sentence now. I'm like, I don't know if, like, I don't see Benny just walking around when he's like just doing whatever he wants.
You know, it's you find a balance that you probably can't see yet. I mean, I don't let him, my son just like wander around, but there's,
go get him, buddy. Yeah.
All right, out.
Dinner's at 5.
It's all good.
Dawson,
When
you
I
had to have seen this. Like, do you notice a difference?
Well, what the difference that I notice is that when children turn 15, 16, and they are finally allowed to be outside for the first time, they have no context for what they're experiencing. And so they trash McDonald's and 7-Elevens and
He's getting
loot
political.
and rob and steal because they weren't fucking free range. They don't understand.
Yeah, that's right. Because like 15
There are
and 16,
consequences for things. You have
15
to
and
act a
16
certain way.
are too old for like, oh yeah, come back when the streetlights turned on. I did that when the streetlights turned on. That was
when you're
my
15,
signal.
16, you're pretty much cut loose, home
Yeah.
at 10.
Yeah.
You know,
What about in
But-
Texas, Matt? Other than that kid that you called 911, that you saw, you called 911.
I'm proud to report that there are many groups of children, well, one or two, I guess that qualifies as many these days, though, that I see regularly either riding bikes through the neighborhood
Oh, good.
or playing basketball. There's a lot of kids playing basketball in the little hoops, like old school, in front of their houses. It's pretty great. And
Yeah, but-
I also want to say, Dawson, on behalf of at least, the three of us that are here, our parents made us go outside a lot too. I mean, you've heard us talk about all our stories of blading,
Yeah.
street
No,
hockey.
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bikes. We got dirty. We did
There was
all
like
that stuff.
a I don't know, forest for lack of a better term, but like there was like, an undeveloped like section in one corner of the neighborhood. And it was like a lot of days. It was like, all right, me and Johnny are going into the thing. We're gonna go hunting. And it's like, see you in 6 to 8 hours, and no cell phones, no anything. So it's like,
Yeah,
it is a very different time now where kids
Right.
can't go anywhere, even though they have a telephonic device that their parents can track literally with GPS down to a 3-foot freaking range.
seriously,
We
we
all-
didn't
you would think.
like we didn't eat. We were on our own for food. Like it's if we wanted to be gone for 8 hours, like
We'd
But
go
yeah,
to
with same
Pizza
with my
Hut,
friends.
play video games, and get personal pan pizzas.
We just walk up to random people's houses and use their hose if we needed a drink. Like it was,
Yeah.
we were feral.
yeah, I don't think that's happening anymore. I think
Oh,
I
don't think so.
No, it certainly isn't.
And is it because of
There
the
are
true
people who
crime?
will
Is it
call the
because of
cops on
Sword
you
and
if you do
Scale?
that.
And
Yeah,
Sword
it
and-
sounds like it's directly my fault.
Is
I
it
need to
Matt's
make
fault?
money.
Well, first Matt had Adnan Syed killed.
That's
Or-
what? Now the rumor mill's really swirling.
News
Well,
Look, yeah.
the thing is there, I don't think, I certainly, if I had children, I certainly would not give them as much freedom as I had these days. There are fucking evil people in this world.
So do you think
Or
people
then-
got more evil? Like people
Or
got
then-
more evil and we're just aware of it, or is this a new thing? Because if
I think that
it was like
internet has certainly amplified
okay, let's say when you were
the
a kid and we were
availability of evil.
all right. Let's say when you were a kid, let's go back in time to when you were a kid in the 1940s, and would you
Right.
let your kids go out?
Slinky was the latest invention.
No,
Yeah,
like
I
no,
said
like
to the
70s,
kids,
like
I said,
70s,
Go get a cigar.
like 70s and 80s. Like that was a different
Be
time.
home
Would
at
you
8 for a drink.
would you like? Is it the time period? Is there more crime now? Is it?
No, I honestly think that it also had a lot to do with how California wasn't all that, like the development where I grew up. There are 10 times the people. There are 10 times the shopping centers, 10 times the traffic. Me and my brother would ride our bikes to Kmart when I was 7.
Yeah.
And now you try that, even at fucking 10, might get hit by, there's a real good chance you get hit by a car.
And you're never
Like
making
I
it to
did.
Kmart.
Okay, so it's just because there's more people.
There's more people, there's more development, there's more danger for
I
children.
think that there's also just more proliferation of these stories. Like if
Yeah.
the shit didn't make 60 Minutes back in 1987, then it wasn't news. It's not getting served to people on Instagram based on the fact that they happen to like this other podcast that might have a bent towards that. It's just like that shit is all in our face in a way that
Right.
it really wasn't before. And you'd be amazed how reading one story based on a headline that you find interesting will start getting you served all that shit just hard. Like, you guys ever notice the phenomenon where if you follow a new account on Instagram seems to think like, oh, that's the only thing he wants to see. Let's give him all that for like 2 days. And I think I think that's
Totally
sort of,
true.
it's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
And to answer your question about evil, Chris, do I think there's more evil in the world? The answer is yes, because there's more people in the world. And say 1 in every 1,000 people, which is probably an underestimate, is evil. Okay, has bad
comforting.
intentions.
I would say it's 1 in 4.
1 in 1,000. If you live in a community of 1,000 people, you're cool, dude. Just find that dude and keep your fucking eyes open.
Yeah.
But if you live in a population of 1 million people, it's a lot more evil. So yes, the answer is, I guess, putting it in simple mathematics, yes, there is more evil because there are more people.
Well, can we agree that that ratio has probably not changed? It's still, I agree with you that more people equals more.
I
bad people.
would say that it has changed slightly in an uptick simply because of the age of the internet. People who may have some evil intentions, it's made so much easier with the internet. Whereas if you were just alone and a bad person, you didn't have the reach that you have. You didn't have the information. So no, I wouldn't worry about the evil dude in Des Moines.
Right.
But now we have to worry about the evil dude in Des Moines.
Yeah. And it gets kind of amplified. I guess we can liken it to Power Rangers when Rita would just throw a monster out into the world. And then we're like, okay, but now that the population's gotten bigger, she would take her staff and throw it into the earth, going, saying, make my monster grow. And the monster would eventually get bigger. Happened every episode, like 100% of the time. And
This
then the
chick said that to me. Yeah, I said that to this chick the other night with my staff.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure like that's, and then they have to get into their Megazord, which Willie Dawson says that too. And and they would have to fight the monster bigger. So yeah, it really is just philosophical. So anyway,
I say
have
by
your
the
birthday.
power of Grayskull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next on our agenda we have our slew of Nickelodeon shows. We're going to
have an agenda.
No, we don't. But Doss, I did hear that you had an interesting thing happen at an open mic recently.
Yeah, so yesterday, every Sunday is a open mic at the Comedy Chateau at like 4:00. They call it church. It's kind of fun.
How many people usually go?
Yesterday there were fucking 30.
30
And
performers.
it's in the small room. So you got to look around for a seat. There were a lot of when this first started, there were maybe 5, 10, 15, but like it's becoming a thing. And so anyway, I just
this is where everyone who's there is going to get on stage at some point for the most part, or no?
Yeah, if you do an open mic and you want to get on stage, they'll watch you, and then you can meet with the booker afterwards. And depending on where you're at, you may start on the 10 o'clock shows on Wednesday night. But yeah, if you come to an open mic, I've seen that they booked some of the fucking worst. But they give everybody a fucking chance. And then everybody gets to give out free tickets to their friends. And, that's all they ask is that you promote. So whatever. So I like to show up on Sundays. It just feels good. Just go try out new.
How early do you get there? How much earlier than
I didn't get there until like 4:15.
And you still make the sheet?
I don't have to
your
make
name
the
in?
sheet. I don't have to make the
sheet.
He is the sheet.
No. There's always a bunch of other of my friends from there, and they show up on Sundays.
You have your own private booth in the back,
and then
too?
the owner says, "When do you want to go up?" And I always say, "Whenever." And he goes, "I'll put you up early so you can get out of here." I'm like, "All right."
Whew, jeez, dude. Can I drop your name?
What?
I feel like if I drop your name around there, it'll get me something
help.
good.
It won't help. This is all. Yeah. Anyway, so. I didn't prepare that much, but I had a few jokes that I really wanted to try. And one of them I didn't even get to. I didn't even get a light. I just didn't finish because I was a little bit embarrassed.
Bring that shit here. Let's go, baby.
When I got up there, the owner does his spiel before the open mic starts. And he explains, what it is, what you do, how it started. And, and he says, we're in the best room in the club right now. Kevin Hart loves this room. Kevin Hart has been here 10 times, and 9 times out of 10, he's in this room. So this is a great room. And you're amongst funny people. And so anyway, I go up there stupidly. I thought this would be smooth. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but I go up on stage and I go, acting super like I'm super cool, like totally fucking comfortable. I walk up and I grab the mic and I go, man, yeah, I can't believe Kevin Hart has been here. You want to see my impression of Kevin Hart on this stage? And people go, yeah. I go to get down on I go to turn the mic stand so it gets shorter. And then I go down to my knees. I'm making a short joke.
Those don't play.
Yeah, no one likes
The
those.
microphone came
Bigger than that.
unplugged, falls off the stage, mic stand falls over.
Oh
I'm
God.
down on one knee. And I'm like, well, fuck.
There goes this set.
Yeah. And so I don't I don't react. I pick up the microphone, I plug it back in. And looking back, I should have reacted. I should have 100% talked and addressed what just happened. I should have just talked for 3 minutes on how don't go for the short jokes, guys. They never fucking work.
At me.
Yeah.
But
So
I
there's been a
was,
couple
I
episodes
was, then I told jokes and they were funny and shit. And some of them worked. One of them I forgot to fucking tell, and I can't think of what it was, but
Dude.
and
Oh,
that's the
man.
only part that hurts.
You really
That's
got
the
to
only part
develop
that
sticky
hurts.
notes here, buddy.
I know, dude. I know, you know,
Just slap them on your chest when you're on stage. You just pull them off as you need them, you know?
that could be a gimmick, dude.
Well, you
I
know
could
what?
do
You
a
can
comedy
have it.
special where I'm just dressed in sticky notes and just start pulling them off, telling jokes.
You're welcome.
That
Yeah.
sounds-
You're welcome.
They call me
think-
sticky note top.
Damn, dude. So you just let the microphone just roll to the back of the room, and you're like, all right.
No,
bye,
it fell right. It fell next to me. But
Yeah.
I picked it up, plugged it in right away. You know,
How was
but
that reverb?
I got clumsy on stage. What?
How was that reverb when you plugged it back?
It
in?
was non-existent.
Oh, good.
Non-existent.
Yeah, physical comedy, pratfall, things like that. It's hard to do, especially if
So-
you're calling attention to it. Like, hey, you want to see me do this thing? Then everyone's
Yeah.
like, all right,
but
here we
that
go.
was gonna be that. I just thought that was. I don't know. I thought about it in the moment, and I'm like, fuck it, do it.
What
What
was
can
do
it
you
hurt?
do you
You
know what your
shoulda-
first line was once the microphone was plugged back in and back in your hand again?
Yeah. So I'm a recovering alcoholic.
See,
Right.
that's good.
That's fair.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, Matt, do you have any tips? How could you punch up his Kevin Hart joke?
No, you have to punch down.
I'm not doing it.
Oh,
There is. That's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about open mics. Is a lot of times you'll find a joke. It works, doesn't work, maybe needs to be tweaked. But if you should never do it ever again, you'll find out at an open mic. And that's the experience that I had yesterday.
oh man. Well, I guess
good on you, man.
if you're gonna bomb, like you gotta really, really dive in. And look, I hear it only just helps to like feel
Well,
that.
I didn't bomb. I didn't bomb by any means.
Okay.
But I did see what was kind of funny was there's, I don't know, a lot of people. There are a lot of white dudes in the audience that were glaring at me,
Mm-hmm.
just fucking pissed. I don't know why.
Well, you probably
There
should
were
have put on the
two.
blackface when you did your impression.
Yeah, there were two, and I was like, ooh, maybe he's just thinking about his set, but that dude definitely does not think I'm funny.
Aw.
And it didn't matter, but you notice it. You take account of it, and then you wait till they go up,
Oh,
and then you see who's funny.
don't you?
And I stayed for both of these guys' sets, and one was really bad, and one had some really fucking good dark premises. Like his mom died 2 months ago, and this dude's fucking telling funny, but dude,
Go see a
dark
therapist.
cancer jokes, dude, dark.
Yeah, I usually like the
I
light
think I was
cancer
the only
stuff.
one laughing, but they were like guffaws. They were like, I can't believe you said that.
Oh wow.
That was
Hmm.
but it was funny
Yeah.
shit.
All right.
So anyway, they're both booked.
Oh, good.
You'll see them sometime.
Damn. Well, I think it was worth acting on your instinct just for the fact that you're trying something new and you're taking a risk.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. And that's the place for it. It's an open mic. That's the
Yeah.
place for it.
That's totally the place for it. So there you go. Mike Dawson trying his Kevin Hart impression. Now, had you gotten down and everything worked out according to plan and you freaking nailed the look, what was your line?
It would just be like, it's because he's short if they didn't laugh. And then that's it.
Oh, okay. That was it.
And honestly, thinking about it, it's like it's low hanging fruit. It's not.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
nothing.
All right.
There's nothing. There's nothing to that. Why waste precious time with it?
Yeah. And
So
like I
moving
think
on.
you end up doing a squat and a lunge in there too. You're working out on stage, like literally. So,
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you shared the story. That does suck, but but you're able to get back up literally.
The rest of the set went fine, but I found a comfortable spot after they laughed at me, and I just said, "I'm Mike Dawson, thanks."
nice.
Put the mic away. They didn't light me. They didn't kick
Oh.
me off the stage. I should have just stayed up there and powered through shit
Yeah.
until they
Might
fucking
as
lit
well.
me. So that's the only. Those are my.
That's your regret.
Those are my regrets. I
Yeah.
have no regret really about trying the Kevin Hart joke. I will never do it again. The regret is letting it affect me to the point where I left the stage before my time was up.
Yeah. Oh, life lesson.
Yeah.
Now, Gary, for those who are listening, has been
Can't
wearing
talk,
a Power
I
Rangers
guess.
mask this entire story. We've not addressed it.
I have just been fucking dying over here.
Went on longer than I expected, if I'm honest.
I almost, now if I have a regret, I regret drawing attention to that. And we could have just went the whole show without.
I actually thought
saying
you were going to
anything.
go into comments and just let's see how long Gary will wear this mask.
Yeah, pretend I didn't do that. Let's get into some comments. Alrighty, and these are all comments found within our Facebook group. And if you're not part of this Facebook group, you're missing out. This is a lot of fun. Everybody here is really cool. It's a great group to be a part of. It's a community. We love it, and it's really easy for you to join if you're not part of it. Just go to facebook.com/groups/Bobo Boy Army Worldwide LLC. Answer a few questions. We might let you in. And look, this is a growing group. You think that URL is long, but people are finding it. So there you go. What does it say about you? What does it say about you? All right. Let's see.
I gotta. Sorry, before you do the first one, this does remind me. Speaking of Facebook and Gary, you mentioned being served content. And this maybe is a tech talk question. I cannot get my Facebook feed to stop serving me Taylor Swift related content. And I have never Googled her name. I've never listened to her music. But about 2 months ago, I started getting on my feed like Taylor Swift related posts. Every single time they come up, I fucking hide it. I do not want to block. I'm not interested in receiving this content. It doesn't stop.
You know,
guys have this
okay.
problem?
I do get Taylor Swift content on mine. I don't look anything up. But at the same time, I don't care. Like, I don't know. I
only care now because it's happening a lot, and frankly, I could give a flying fuck. It's, to me, Taylor Swift is what Power Rangers is to Dawson.
Do you not like Taylor
Dude,
Swift?
You're 3 for 3, guys. We don't have to talk about Taylor Swift either.
Wait, who among the four of us is a Swiftie? Because
Dawson, we came back to music. We're throwing you a bit of a bone. Just roll with it.
Matt, do you dislike Taylor Swift?
It's not that I dislike her. I have zero interest. Zero.
You don't like any of her songs?
I don't think I could. I mean, if I heard it, I would be like, oh yeah, that's one.
Well, Matt, now we got
don't think
Bad Blood.
Well, Gary, I'm sorry you feel that way. Oh wait, that's a song title. Wow, Dawson's actually left the
Yeah.
frame. That wasn't what I is intending. I'm sorry. Read comments. I
All
was
right.
just saying.
All right.
Content.
I love Taylor Swift, by the way. Anyway, let's go.
Here you go. He's a Swiftie. There you go.
Yeah. All right, we'll shake it off and we'll get into some comments here. All right. So Jim Blake
Can't name one of her
says,
songs.
Well, if you've been listening,
All right, Jim Blake says, though not as classy as a Seltzy, my wine just won a silver medal. I started making wine after a friend got the idea that we could drink lots of wine for cheap by making our own. Spoiler alert, winemaking isn't cheap, and my friend is an idiot. We're making beer as well now since it's quicker to get the drinking part. Anybody else making their own wine, beer, mead, prison hooch, etc.? And by the way, his wine is Hanger B. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon, and it just won the silver medal at the OC Fair.
Well, first
That's
of all,
fucking
congratulations.
awesome.
Yeah, congratulations.
all,
Fucking awesome.
Oh, I'm not making my own alcohol, nor am I growing my own marijuana, because as you said, it is just really hard and expensive.
Yeah.
And easy to F up. I've seen.
And there's a
more than few people.
Bevmo and a weed store.
There you go.
Chris, how about Chris Orchards? Are you guys developing some cider? I
No.
feel like that could be in your future.
It could be, though. I am going to juice some of our apples, and maybe I'll let some fermentation take place.
Put a
Roids.
little dishy dash of cinnamon on there.
You know,
I think
pump
we've
some
covered.
roids in there.
I think we've discussed it recently. It's like that meme where it's like, I could go to a restaurant and get ramen for $40, or I can go to the store and spend $200 to make way less good ramen. Like, it's just, it's
Yeah.
Leave that shit to the experts.
I agree. But Jim, that wine looks great. And look, OC Fair, that's pretty local here. I got an OC guy who loves wine.
No,
Why hasn't he
congratulations.
had any of it? Why hasn't he had any of this Hanger B?
I just have to go search it out now. I wasn't aware of it. If I had known that there was an army member who was making wine in my neck of the woods, I'll go find it.
Yeah, let's Hanger.
My friend in college, his family had a vineyard in Paso Robles, and for the Paso Robles Wine Festival, we were asked to go up there and work and pour wine. So me and all my friends went up there, and the next day is the come and check out the winery day of the festival. So like Saturday is the big tasting, and then Sunday every winery has their own party thing. And the job I was asked to do was cook chicken wings, and it was awesome and miserable all at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm fucking burning up, dude.
So
On one of those fucking half barrels, cooking chicken wings for 7 hours.
So Dawson, here's something that is a reality today that I'm sure you didn't deal with at the time. So you said that, they had just had people come up to volunteer and pour wine. Well, for my nephew's football fundraiser, what they have parents and relatives do is go to the OC Fair and pour beers that people buy, outside the concert venue where they have, shows every night. You, as a result of the regulations in California now, it's like a 6-hour process to get certified to be allowed.
Oh yeah,
You have to go through. It is when I say 6 hours, I got to 4 hours last year and gave up. I called my sister and I was like, I don't even think that I'm making progress, and she just told me to tap out. It's ridiculous the amount of regulation there is. Like, you're pouring beer out of a tap. I don't know. Seems like it's
two adults.
Two adults. It just seems like it shouldn't be that hard. I get like,
And not in a public space.
right. I get that you want to know who's distributing alcohol. Like, that's fine with me. Like, a little bit of a registration process, cool. But like, this should not be harder than my taxes.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, sorry, man.
No, look, you're heating up just like the monster
I think you made the right choice,
Flamehead.
but you lost 4 hours of your life.
Flamehead was also a monster that heated up in the Power Rangers, created by Lord Zed. He was a masked horse riding flame monster in Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Did it go like this?
as far as weed shops
You're thinking
go,
of
by the
Guile.
way, do you guys have an issue with this? Because I don't know why, but I hate this term, and that is when you go to weed stores, they call themselves bud tenders. No,
Yeah, that's lame, dude.
that's
it's
so
not ideal.
lame.
Lame.
Why are
You're
you
not a
embracing
bud
with
that?
it? What's
tender
wrong with
unless.
it?
Hey, I'm a
No,
bud
you're
tender.
weed
working the
dealer.
counter at a
Oh,
weed
God.
store.
Oh
Yeah,
my
no,
God.
that's self-esteem written all over it, dude.
Yeah,
you're not
you're
a
not
bud
a
tender unless
bud
you're working
tender?
on the farm tending the buds.
What about Bud Rista?
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
tell if I don't like that in general or just because you came up with it right now.
Yeah, I know it.
Let's be honest.
We-
It could
we're-
be either
we're
way. It's a
pretty
coin
good.
toss.
We're biased. Yeah, if we hear it come out of Matt's mouth, we can't fully sign on just yet. No, I like Bud
What
Rista
about
better.
Maitre Dope?
Maitre dope
Maitre
is not
dope.
bad. Now, Matt, I don't know if you're aware of this, but something that wasn't really a thing or was more sparingly a thing when you were living in California that is now coming around is they're basically opening up a lot of restaurants, basically, where you're allowed to buy and consume marijuana at the restaurant, like while you're sitting there eating and watching.
Wow, it's like Amsterdam now, baby.
Yep, it's exactly that. It straight up says in the bill that they're trying to pass, like they equate it to the Amsterdam coffee shops where people can have coffee and baked goods, and
Wow. Well, this is really tempting, but I'm probably still going to stay in Texas a little bit longer.
No bud tenders in Texas, Matt.
No bud tenders.
Yeah, I just said I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. If you're a bud tender and you're listening, I want to know if you like being called that or not, because I think there's a better word. And if you have a better word for bud tender, I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah. We are never ever getting back together.
All right.
How about this? The head one is called the Joint Chief.
That's pretty good.
Sorry, the what? It cut out for me.
The head person at the counter at the weed store is the Joint Chief.
I like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should all be. I like cabinet positions and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, I like that better. Bud tender's just too amateur. Come on, guys. This is a business we're trying to run here. All right. Joelle Hall. She writes that, remember we're talking about each state has their own drink?
Yeah.
Nevada's,
except California. Wasn't on the list.
We don't have our own drink?
It wasn't on the list that I found that I was going off of. I was very confused by that.
That bums me out.
It's just such a vast state. It's hard to really pick one drink.
They wanted it to be beer, but you had to go through a 6-hour class for it to happen.
Exactly.
Joelle Hall. She said the drink of Nevada is called pecan punch. Not pecan like the nut, but P-I-C-O-N. Pecan. But she says, please.
I think it means spicy.
Says, please don't waste your money. I guess it's not that good. Pennsylvania. Eric Lepore writes the official drink of Pennsylvania. Milk.
Yeah, dairy cows.
They get milk. Milk's a pretty baller drink to get if that's your drink.
I feel like
A lot of people could have claimed it. A lot of people could still claim it.
I know.
Doesn't mean it's off the table, dude.
One of the cheese state should have gotten milk.
I know. They really
dropped it.
I wonder if you can buy, you know how you can buy, like, if somebody has your domain or your Instagram handle and you really want it, you can just buy it off them. I wonder if milk's up there for a pretty penny. Wisconsin's just waiting for that price to look good.
Well, Wisconsin would be beer. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Tony Smith says the Texas state drink is the margarita.
That doesn't make sense.
Fucking believe that. You've never been down here before. We've talked about this before. They literally have drive-throughs, margaritas you can drive through. You guys can talk all you want about, oh, now there's restaurants where you can have a croissant and smoke weed. Out here, they will fucking pour you tequila and say, have a nice day, sir. Enjoy driving your car 65 miles an hour on the way home.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, we're going to put a little piece of tape over the tip of the straw because we know that means you won't drink it.
Yeah.
You gotta think the logic of it. Hear me out here, though. I mean, the logic of if you got a 40-minute commute from work to home, what's the matter with a drive-through cocktail?
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Dude, you need a drive-through cocktail.
You're not gonna hit the BAC. What 0.089 is it? What is it now?
It's like 0.08, but you might hit my son. So let's go ahead and not.
I wish it was 0.89.
Yeah, don't hit 0.8. But I mean, yeah, Matt, with the heat though, if you didn't have a margarita, would you say it would be a cruel summer?
Oh, I'm jealous, dude. I'd be crushing margaritas in the heat, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
Ashley Nicole Rollison says the state drink of Ohio. You're gonna like this, Doss. It's tomato juice.
Really?
Doss and I went to
that.
Denny's the other day, and we simultaneously ordered the youngest person food and the oldest person food. Rise. I got chicken tendies, and Dawson got a glass of tomato juice.
What a mastermind!
Oh my god.
Yeah. I know it's
good. I like it.
Yeah, that was a good meal. Yeah, but let's see here. Mike J. Nielsen says, am I just an old fart or do other people like watching the show How It's Made? My wife hates it, but I can't get enough. No, dude, How It's Made is awesome.
No, that show's awesome. And I like just shows like that in general. Like, I don't know why, but I somehow clicked on a an Amazon movie that was like all about the inner workings of a cruise ship. I was fascinated.
Oh, you told us about that
Yeah.
one. I watched it too. It was fucking great.
Yeah,
There's a
I
new one,
watched
Matt.
that too. I watched that too.
There's a new
That
one.
one was pretty
What?
good.
There's a new one that's very similar. It's based on, I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but I've watched enough of it to know that it's like probably the same producers and it's a similar, setup. It's all about like a massive, like all-inclusive resort in the Bahamas.
What's
It's
it called? Not the resort, the movie.
I'll figure it out. Let me see.
All right,
It's
'cause
got
I
the
will fucking
same
watch the
intro for
shit out of that.
everything, It's
Yeah.
like inside a cruise or
Dude,
inside a mega
I love
ship.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
I can't
It's
get
called-
enough
But
of
it's
it.
not that.
I love seeing shit made in a factory on a conveyor belt and just watching machines just put shit together. It's cool for me. I there's something satisfying about it. So you're not alone. How it's made rules. And lastly, Sharon Severson.
Secrets of the Mega Resort. Matt.
Severson.
Yes,
Remember-
Secrets of.
Yeah.
Sharon
The
went on that.
Secrets of
Sharon
series.
drove out to Alaska, and she's kind of been keeping us updated whilst playing us in her car speakers for her family during this road trip.
Hi,
Hi,
Grandma.
family.
Uh-oh. There's a couple episodes that had some language.
I think we've discussed this.
Yeah, like this one.
Well, she gives one final update. We're almost out of Canada and into the lower 48. Dawson, you just heads up, you have your own city. Dawson City, Yukon is the most charming preserved town in North America. My only regret is we didn't get to see the Can Girls at night and eat and drink at the saloon. Yeah.
You got
There's,
can girls in Dawson's place?
there's a place
I
called
gotta get up
Dawson
there.
City, and it's like a
Yeah.
Western town. It looks like a Western town. It's perfect. It
You'd
literally
think
was
I'd
made
be
for
like
Dawson.
royalty,
That
right?
seems like
yeah.
that seems like some vigilante shit.
You
It-
should
it-
look it
it's
up.
dope.
Maybe you're the Duke of Dawson.
Maybe I am, dude.
You're entitled. This is your birthright.
I was
Go
the mayor
over
of
there.
Santa Barbara for 6 years, but
That's credentials.
yeah,
Get over there, dude.
I could be the Duke of Dawson now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You need to get there and get rid of all the riffraff. Right? Yeah.
There's probably a blank space right before Dawson where you could write Mike.
Yeah, it's probably there. And I'm just saying, get over to
Are you
Dawson.
saying I
City.
vandalized the city? Is that where we're? No.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if you get up there and you get a warm welcome, you could, write your name in that blank space. And if you're not getting a warm welcome, then you're the anti-hero.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you. You're the problem, it's you. All right. Anyway, those are our comments, everybody. Thanks for writing in. Outros in Patreon. All right, well, Matt, let's get into some Chez Fondue, shall we?
Oh no!
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey, Matt.
I knew you were trouble. What's on the menu?
Well, I want to instead of a traditional Chez Fondue, I want to do a variation of this that I'm going to call a Chez in the life. There's not so much food related, but this is an experience. It's still kind of like it, and this is an opportunity to tell you guys about it.
alliteration.
Again, I can't tell if I hate
It's
it
a pun.
because you came up with it or just in general.
Yeah.
So my wife had some built-up vacation days, and it's a little bit slower at her work right now. So this past week, 4th of July, she took the entire week off, and we decided midweek after 4th of July, let's go for a float, which is what you do out here on a hot summer day. You got the inflatable rafts, the inflatable cooler, and you get on a bus.
baby.
They take you down, or they take you up,
Yes.
and you just fucking float back.
Dawes,
down
have you
to
done
where you
this?
started.
No, and I'll tell you, man, that's bucket list.
This is right there. This is something
yeah,
you would.
I have to do this.
This
I
is
mean,
right now.
I've
yeah.
drank on a float in a lake, but not no lazy river.
This
dude.
screams
Never done the
Dawson. This
lazy
is
river.
something you would love, man.
Yeah.
It's just like straight out of your wildest dreams.
As the
it's
Duke of Dawson, I feel like this should be part of your legacy.
Yeah.
You would own
Yeah.
the river.
All too well.
So last year we did this, and there's a bunch of rivers that you can do it on that offer the shuttle service. That's sort of what you are going to these venues for. So last year we went to one, and it was extremely stressful. I think I told you guys about it. They were just like hundreds of college kids, everybody playing their own music, puking off the side of their floats,
social,
like
yeah.
amateur hour. It was it was really intense. It was not quite the lazy river experience that we wanted. But I had talked to a neighbor who told me about this other river that had a float experience. And so this was going to be our day. And I knew we had a kind of a tight schedule in the morning. We had to drop the dog off. We had to stop at a supermarket to get some like snacks for the float experience.
When did you go?
What's that?
When did you go?
Thursday.
Yeah.
The day that I didn't do the show with you guys.
It all makes sense.
It all makes sense now. My neighbor told me, the one who told me about this float, though, that you're not allowed to have cans. Or let me rephrase. We read that you're not allowed to have cans on the river, and I asked my neighbor, "What do you do about that?" And he said, "If you get a beer koozie, you're going to be totally fine." Now, the only beer koozies I have are like sentimental items related to bachelor parties and such. So one of the other stops that we needed to make, we had to get beer koozies. Now, my hope was to get onto the water by 1 o'clock and do one of these floats for like 5 hours. That's legit how long you're on the river. But with all of these stops, it started to become a little overwhelming. We ended up going to this place called Buc-ee's, which is a truck stop. But it turns out we went to the Guinness Book World Record holder for largest convenience store in the world. It's over 66,000 square feet. They had a restaurant. They had a fucking like candy factory.
That's not a convenience store. That sounds inconvenient.
That's an inconvenience.
They had like
store.
a home goods store. Like it was insane. And they did have beer koozies, but it was on the complete opposite end of this like fucking quadruple Costco that we had to walk through to fucking get these things.
I do like the idea on the face of it that two 40-year-olds trying to go float down a river and get drunk in the middle of a Thursday became overwhelming.
Exactly. So we finally get to this place. It's like 1:30. My goal was to be on the water by 1, but I'm thinking, okay, we're just going to pay the shuttle pass and we're going to be on the water by 2. This is great. We go upstairs and they tell us that the internet is down and it's cash only. And I say, do you have an ATM? And they say, no, we do not.
Internet's down
And
too.
I say, where is the closest ATM? And they say, well, you have to go back into town, which is probably 20 to 30 minutes each direction.
That is fucking ridiculous.
And I am like, we had like, it was $25 a person. And I think we came up about like $14 short in cash. And I was like, will you take, $33 or whatever we had? And they're like, sorry, we can't do that.
You're gonna have to barter, baby. Give him your flip flops.
Finally, I found some like parking attendant who was very nice to us when we first arrived, told us that there was another bar, ironically called Koozies, down the street like 1 mile, and that they had an ATM. And we drove over there and they were fucking closed. But another place just past that happened to be open. I got some cash. We got back to the parking lot. Now it starts pouring rain. It's literally pouring rain. I'm like dripping with rainwater and sweat and tears. It's approaching
All the
3
liquids.
o'clock.
God, that is a cruel summer.
It was so cruel, Gary. It was so cruel. But we finally got on the water. And let me tell you, because it was the middle of a week, as Gary so astutely pointed out, we basically had this entire river to ourselves. And it was absolute bliss. Incredible day. Just polishing off a 6-pack on the river. But
and you guys didn't get separated or anything? Like
no, dude,
going
we
down
were
the river
the whole time. We were together the whole time.
Okay.
Did you tie yourselves together?
Oh yeah, I actually last time one of the things that I really fucked up was I did not look up how to properly tie the type of knot that will not just come apart with a bunch of jostling around on the water, because you would think just some clever, fucking bunny ear loops might do the trick. But this time I was prepared and I looked up like a sailor's knot, and that shit kept everything together. It was awesome.
Like I remember,
You ever jump off and swim in the river?
Yeah,
you gotta, dude. It's a lazy river. It all just that's how you pee.
Oh yeah,
right?
no, there's lots of peeing in nature for sure.
I remember I tied some friends together. We didn't use a sailor's knot, so he just like went sailing and he went way ahead of us. I'm like, all right, man, I'll see you at the bottom because we're never getting back together.
Nope, I don't want this one. Go find the other one.
That's just karma.
Now you guys are just fucking Wikipediaing it, and you're saying ones you already did.
What do you mean now?
How dare you? Let me just conclude this by saying it was a wonderful time, but do to the aforementioned pouring rain when I applied my sunblock, I ended up getting not the worst sunburn I've ever had in my life, but probably in the top 3. I'm still a little rough around the edges here.
I can see it in your face a little bit. I think I can see it in your
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
You need to get a cowboy hat.
It's been pretty rough, and I will, before ending the segment, I did want to ask you guys, what were your worst like sunburn experiences, sunburn stories?
What sunburn?
Oh yeah, Chris, sorry.
I fell asleep on the beach in Miami, and woke
that's
up
rough.
and we got destroyed. Yeah.
The only reason why this is not in like the absolute top echelon is that because I was on my back the entire time, my back has been spared the sunburn. Whereas in my mind, the worst sunburns I've ever had in my life included my back. So you can't even like sit properly or lay down properly.
Oh.
The ones that stick out to me are long golf days. And those are particularly embarrassing because you definitely have the shirt on and the shorts on. So you're just red on like 45% of your body, and it's just extra stupid.
Yeah.
That was probably my last one too. I don't think I've had a sunburn for like 20 years.
Yeah,
I've
definitely
stayed
been
out
a
of the
while
sun.
for me.
Damn. I think being in a lazy river with rain is just awesome.
It really was awesome. And it
I
only
love
rained for
that.
like part of the time, and it was kind of just partly cloudy because it's like we said, it's really, really hot out there. So it was awesome to not have the direct sunlight on. And yeah, great time. This week's Patreon, I'll have a more traditional Chez Fond-du-Lac segment, but until then, that's what's on the river.
Ah.
Hey,
Day in the life.
Day in
Now,
the life.
Gary,
Yo.
you can no longer make fun of me for doing a museum for a Chez Fond-du-Lac. Number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, Matt.
What's up?
Why are you being so coy?
About what?
Oh,
What's
Thursday.
happening?
On Thursday, Matt's like, "Hey guys, can't make the show." Like, everything all right? It's like, yeah, I'm just not gonna be home. And
I'm pretty sure I was like on the road doing that on my phone while we were trying to fucking drop the dog off and stuff. Like my dreams of being on the river at 1, I really did the math. I was like, I probably could make it back, but I think I emailed you guys at 10 or 11 my time.
No, you gave us enough heads up. I just thought I was like,
barely gotten on the road. And I was like, there's no way. And I didn't feel like I needed to fully explain.
I thought you were back in California again. I was like, if he's freaking back in CA, I'm gonna lose my mind.
You guys did a great job. I will say you guys titled the episode Cheese Grater, and I did think that one of you guys was attempting to grade cheese, and we're gonna do your own cheese rating segment called the Cheese Grater. And frankly, I think I may just have to do it because that's not why it's called that.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have dice, so we couldn't really do anything.
No, you know why
official.
we didn't do that, Matt? Because it's an awful idea.
Also, the way I spelled the title should have been a tip off.
Matt,
Rating cheese.
Either way, Matt, ignore them. I'm in, baby.
right,
Grade some
all
cheese.
right.
Grade some freaking cheese. All right. Well, anyway, I loved it, man. Thank you. All right. Now let's go around the horn and get our plugs in. Why don't I start with Mr. Cheese Grater himself, Matt Fond-du-Lac? What should we check out, buddy?
Well, the aforementioned Patreon, which is patreon.com/watercooler. Please check out that show if you enjoyed the first hour. We'll be taping a whole additional hour of content just for you guys. Plus, we have movie nights. I gotta go through. I promised that I would say on a Patreon show all the various movie nights we've done, and we got to figure out who wants to hang out with us.
Oh yeah, and and you get the archive to all the other Patreon shows we've done, and I guess we've just celebrated 3 years or something like that.
Something like that.
Sunday.
Yeah, 3 years on
yesterday.
Sunday of doing Patreon. So thanks to all who have subscribed, who had subscribed, who support the show, because right now it's the only way to support us, and we appreciate it. And I promise it's as cheap as $5 a month, and you get a ton of extra stuff. So
And it's just as stupid as the other stuff we record.
maybe even stupider.
Yeah, maybe even dumber.
Maybe, we do go a little longer.
Yeah.
Cheese grater. Maybe even dumber.
Yeah. All right, Doss, how about you?
Tuesday night this week, I'm doing a show at South Bay Comedy Show at South Bay Customs in El Segundo. Adam Ray's on that show, so that's neat.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good, and I got to do 15 minutes, so should be pretty fun.
Now,
and then I'm at the
do you
Chateau.
try?
in North Hollywood, either Friday night or Saturday night. I'm not sure which. 7:15.
You'll tweet it
on the 15th. So yeah, hit me at Los Angeles, and then the big show, fucking the Smoking Kills, my band, August 19th at the Roxy with 7 Horse and Dada.
Yep.
And there is talk of a Corolla sighting that night.
Yeah. The
get your tickets for that too.
Do you try at your show on Tuesday, tomorrow or tonight, I guess as people hear this?
Do I lead with a Kevin Hart joke?
Do you try the Kevin Hart bit? And what would it take for you to do?
Here's my impression of Kevin Hart on this stage.
Well, no, on the stage of the Comedy Chateau.
It's good. I might.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, probably.
I think people want to see it. Okay, what about the Roxy? Will you do it at the Roxy?
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Okay, there you go. So people come out to the Roxy, you'll see the Kevin Hart joke.
Yeah.
It's going to be your signature bit. I will not rest until it is your signature bit.
I feel there's a lot of miles on that joke.
Gary, so about you?
Yeah, I'll echo Matt and say our patreon.com/watercooler. It's the best and only real way to support us right now. So thank you to everyone who does subscribe. And I would encourage people to go check it out because, as Chris mentioned, we just passed the 3-year anniversary. That means there's over 155 episodes that you get the second you subscribe, and new ones every single week. So that is a ton of content for $5 a month. So I would encourage you to check it out. If you've gotten to this point in this show, you will enjoy that show. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Look at all that extra content. We want to keep you busy. We want to keep your ears busy. And that's why we're doing this. So please sign up for Patreon. As for me,
this one of the Power Rangers just turned into a really busy person.
Yeah, it's morphin' time.
Yeah.
As for me, this Saturday I'm playing in Long Beach at On the Rocks. This in Long Beach all night long. I'm also playing at Perks in Huntington Beach on the 23rd. That's a Sunday night. So yeah, let's go. Let's hang out on a school night if you want. And that's it. Also, please check out Mike Dawson's new signature bit, the Kevin Hart joke, and request it at all of his shows. All right, that'll do it for a Watercooler. See you later this week for Patreon. We love you. Goodbye.